Hello, everyone. In today's lesson, we're going to be talking about how bill becomes a law. This is a long, convoluted process. It involves many steps, and oftentimes these steps are repeated and set back and forth. So, in this lesson, we're just going to look at this document here. So, starting with about two about 25,000 bills are introduced in each term in Congress, but only 10% become law. So if we do the math on that, of 25,000 is roughly about 250 bills. A bill may begin in either the House or the Senate except for money bills. This is important. These must be introduced in the House. They cannot be introduced in the Senate. So let's go through the steps. Number one, a bill is drafted. Members of Congress, the executive branch, and even outside groups can write or draw up bills. To get a bill introduced in Congress, you have to speak to your congressman. You can give them your written bill. They will look at it. If they agree with you, they will bring it to step two. This is where it is introduced in the House. So, for the sake of today's lesson, we're just going to start in the House. So, the representative introduces the bill in the House. Only members of the House of Representatives can introduce bills in this section. Number three, it is sent to committee. The Speaker of the House sends the bill to a committee. So there are many committees. In the last lesson, you've actually looked at how many committees there are. There could be up to 30 different committees, depending on which side of the House you are on. And in that committee, it will be sent to a subcommittee. So if we go to step four, committee action. This is where most bills die. The committee may pigeonhole, ignore, table, review it later, amend, or vote on the bill. If the bill passes, it goes to the Rules Committee. The Rules Committee is a special committee. This is the one that decides the rules for debate and when a bill will come up for debate. So they're the ones that put it on the schedule. Next, step six, floor action. The House debates the bill and may add amendments. If a majority votes in favor of the bill, it then goes to the Senate. Step 7. Introduced in the Senate. A senator introduces the bill, which is sent to a committee. Now we go to 8. Committee action. It's the same as the House. It goes to a committee and then to a subcommittee. The bill can die here. It can be pigeonholed, tabled, amended, or voted on. If the committee majority votes for the bill, it goes to the whole Senate. At this time, it goes to step number 9. The majority floor leader decides when the whole Senate will consider the bill. So, unlike the House where it's the Rules Committee, here it is one person who decides, the floor, the majority floor leader. Floor action. The bill is debated and amendments may be added. If a majority votes in favor of the bill, it is returned to the House. So, why is it returned to the House? Well, if any changes are made to the bill at the Senate, it needs to go back to the other House and go. So, it goes from here, goes all the way back to step 2 and starts the process over. So, if the House rejects any of the changes, the bill goes to a conference committee of members from both houses and works out a compromise. So, once they finish, you probably guessed it, it goes back to step 2 and it goes through all the steps again. So, If both houses approve the changes made by this conference committee, the bill will then go to the president. So it's finally out of Congress. So the president has three things he can do. He may sign, approve it, or veto, reject it. There's a third option, and it depends on when this happens. The president could approve it by not signing it, but because he doesn't want his name attached to it, that's called a table approval. So he doesn't sign it, it just automatically becomes law in about, I believe it's 10 days. Or if it's at the end of a session, it's called a table veto. Because if he doesn't sign it by the end of the session, it is vetoed, it is rejected. So, what do we do if the president rejects it? Well, it goes back to the House and to the Senate. Here, both houses vote on again. And then at this point, they need to get 2/3 of both houses to override the veto. This doesn't happen often, but depending on what the bill is and how strongly Congress feels for it, it can happen. So this was a brief overview of how the full picture. The full picture is very time consuming and very long, lot of steps. So use this video and this document here to fill out the accompanying questionnaire. See you next video.